Yes. Previously, we have been looking at how to create a drawer and give it content as well. Yeah. So we are going into looking at having different formats, or having different screens and how to navigate to them, but using something very interesting, and that is a bottom navigation. Yeah, bottom navigation bar items, something like that. Yeah. So first things first, we shall actually first have the pages created. So far we have, I think, home page, login page, main.add. No, we have a profile page as well. So I think let me just create more one page, and I'll call this what should we call it? Let's say it's a payment screen, maybe. I'll call it a payment screen. Payment screen, just like that. Dot that. Oh, good. I'm not intending to. So payment screen dot that. Then I'm importing material that. Then I'll say stateful, maybe widget, whatever it is. So I'll call it payment. Sorry. Payment screen. Then it will have a scaffold as well. Just to remove these constructors, constant stuff. I hate them. And it will have an bar property, bar widget. Then inside we shall have a title, then we shall have a text, and we shall have payment. Oh, sorry, it's a string. Payment screen. Payment screen. I'll save. And how am I navigating to that in case I need to? Okay. So our page is working out well. So we have a home page, we have a profile, we have a payment screen. Yeah. So inside our scaffold, our main scaffold, where we're actually going to be navigating the whole of these pages, we need something that is actually going to control the navigation of these pages. So it's like having a general scaffold, and this general scaffold is actually going to be returning the body of those pages that we have actually created. So what we need, I'll just come into the lib folder, then I create maybe let me just call it a tab controller dot that that, not that. Okay, so I'll import material.dat, then I'll call a stateless maybe, and I'll say tabs or tab controller. Okay, so it will have a scaffold. To have a scaffold, and I prefer not to use. This is what I was removing. Yeah, I don't prefer constant constructors. So inside its scaffold, it should have it should actually have these different pages that we're actually going to create. Yeah. So what we need to create a bottom navigation bar. Yeah, and this bottom navigation bar, it is responsible for returning a type widget, which is a bottom navigation bar, right? So it will call for a bottom navigation bar, and this bottom navigation bar is requiring a list of bottom navigation bar item. Yeah, some people refer it to like let's say okay, let me just put this down just like this so I can explain this well. So I said a bottom navigation bar widget, it requires a list of bottom navigation bar items, yeah, which is already given to you that this is items that require a list of bottom navigation bar items. So I can I can try to give it my list that I want. Sorry. Really itching over here. Okay, so I can try to give it my list that I really want. Let's say, and this is of a type bottom navigation bar item, just like that. Just that in this SDK, we don't need to put this. Yeah, so you'll find that some people just leave it like this because by default, the items call for a bottom, they're of a type bottom navigation bar items. Yeah, so whatever is in this list is going to be of type of that. Yeah, so I'll say bottom navigation bar item, it's a widget, and we are saying that what is required, we require a widget which is an icon, then we have a string label, then active icon, background color in case you need to change that, but we shall only first give in the required one, and that is an icon. It's of a type widget of icon, and let's say icons dot maybe home, and I want to remove this irritable. Sorry, yeah, we don't have. So that is the first item, but this item should always have a label which is of a type string. Yeah, so a label requires a type string. So oops, so it's a label property which is requires a string, and this is going to be maybe home, something like that. So in case I need to put another bottom navigation bar item, I'll just copy up this. Since they're in a list, I'll just paste, and I have 3 pages, so I don't need to add maybe a 4th one. So this one shall be maybe that of payments, shall be for payments. I think I'll put money. Maybe that. Then I'll call it payments. Then for another page, I'll call it, what other page we have? We have home, we have profile, yeah, profile. Shall call it profile, just like that. Yeah. So how are we actually controlling these? So let us first navigate to the this tab controller, and we see how our navigation bar items look like. So I think after login page, let's try to navigate back to the login page. So after the login page, instead of going to the home page, we are going to go to the tab controller page. Did we save it? How do we call it? Yeah, tab controller dot that. Tab controller dot that. Login page. Yeah, we need to. Oops. Oops. I don't need to go to the tab controller. Like, oh god, this is really messing up. Oh, I think I really had to use some different name code because tab controller is just within a system. So I'll say I'll change this to something different, I guess. Yeah. So I'll say control find tab, then I'll say tab controller page. So I need to replace whatever I find this, replace with this. Oops, I'm over making it. Sorry. Control Z. Yeah. Tab controller page. Yeah, maybe make it like that. So I'll save. So under login, I'll say tab controller page. Yeah, something like that, because tab controller is already within the system and it requires some length or values, something like that. Yeah. Okay, so I'll navigate to the tab controller. So let me pull back this up here. So when I click login, I navigate to the tab controller. So under the tab controller, I have the home that we saw earlier. I have the home, I have payments, I have a profile still having the home icon. So I'll need to change this to maybe person. Maybe person, something like that. So when we press here, we need to navigate to the profile page. Yeah. And when we press payment, we need to access the payment screen as well. Yeah, something like that. Okay, so we shall actually go back to our tab controller. Yep. Tab controller. Okay. It doesn't have a body, but it has a navigation bar, whatever it is. So inside here, we're actually going to create a state that actually helps us to change the scaffold of this this tabs controller. So what we're going to do, we shall initialize shall say make a list of these pages. So we shall create a list. I remember we looked at how to create lists as well. So we shall say list pages, maybe shall equal to that, and we are actually going to put these pages according to how we labeled our indexes for the respective navigation bar items. Yeah. So we shall say pages. I'll call for the very first home page. That's a list. Then I'll call for a payments page with respect to how I indexed the navigation bar items. Yeah. So the last one is a profile page. Make final. So Okay, we can make them final pages. Something like that. Then how are we going to navigate this? By default, the index is on the very first index, which is 0. So you can actually change it accordingly to what you want. So what we need to do is that we shall track how we're actually controlling the indexes. So we shall say int, because index is an integer, so I'll say int, maybe let's say if the selected index equals to 0 by default, so I want to restrict it to that. Then after that, I'll go inside my I want to put this down. Yeah, I'll put that down. Then I'll call for the on tap inside here, that when I click any of shit, I was damn. Wait, the argument type can be assigned to parameter void int. Damn. Okay, let's change this to a stateful widget. Yeah, let's change it to a stateful widget, and on top. Okay, yeah, it can't be a void int because I'm not giving it sorry, it has to be a void integer, which is dealing with an index. So I'll say on top like that. We were right. Before we change it to maybe a stateful widget or whatever it is, whether using a stateful or stateless, it will actually still work. So here I'll give it an index. So we're going to be altering this index. So inside here, I'll say we are going to set the state. We're going to set state that when I change, when I click on the respective index of the navigation icon or item, whatever it is, I want to alter this index accordingly to the selected index. So initially, if the index is 0, I want it to alter it to 0. But if I select the respective navigation bar item and it is having index of 1, I want to change the selected index to that apparent index that I've selected. So I'll say set or this selected index to equal to the index inside here. So whatever variable for this index, which is of a type int that you're changing, should be respective of this. Yeah. So I'll save that. And I'll say I need the body now of this very scaffold. So I'll just come down here and say, so the body, this white body is going to be changing according to the selected index. Yeah. So this body is going to come from a list of pages, right? So it's going to come from a list of pages, right? And I'm going to keep respect of the index, right? Let's say if the index is 2, then that means the body is going to actually return the profile page, actually. Something like that, right? Because the selected, sorry, not the selected, yeah, actually maybe the selected index is 2 and the body is a list of dynamic pages or dynamic widgets that I'm returning, right? So if I put 2 here, that means I'm going to, this is index 0, 1, 2. So this shall be shown. In case I put it to maybe 1, but that means I'll have the payment screen just like that. Yeah, but since that I'm not going to be changing pages like this, I need to alter the selected index. Yeah, so I'll just come that here. Then instead of putting just a direct figure as 0, I'll put the selected index, because when I tap the navigation bar item, it's going to keep changing the selected index to the current index that you've actually chose. Yeah, something like that. I don't know whether it really makes sense. Yeah, so I think this really works out. So when I save, it should actually take me to the home screen, just like this. Wait a moment. Yes, please. Okay, so when I save, and when I click home, by default, it should come to home. When I click payments, like that. When I click, just like that. Yeah. Okay. I think that really makes sense. Yeah. So that's how to navigate to different pages using. And for login screen, I don't need to pop back these pages, so I'll use push replacement. So when I use push replacement, I don't need to pop back to the login screen, unless otherwise, if you need to, then you use that. Okay, we saw this, and we also saw we linked that this tile to the profile page, and you can navigate back, something like that. Okay, so initially from the login page to the tab controller, which is a list of these different pages, just like that. Yeah, and in case we need to change a few stuff for these items as well, we are seeing that bottom navigation bar current index is 0. That is okay. We can give it an elevation. Let's say elevation of maybe 3. In case we need to, we can also give it a background color in case we need to. Maybe colors dot gray. Maybe say gray. Yeah, something like that, or blue. Yeah, then you can go ahead and maybe change now how these inside navigation bar items are looking like. So let's say we go here, we say selected item color, you can also change it. Icon size, you can also change it. Then maybe unselected icon theme, you can also change it accordingly to what you want. So you can go peruse through these features and try out one by one, altering changes in the way you want them to be. Okay, so that's it with a bottom navigation bar. Yeah, so in the next tutorial, we shall be looking at maybe putting content in these different pages and maybe how to have a fancy UI now. We shall go into that. Thanks for watching.